There was a funky city down by the railroad track. I don't know if I'm ever coming back, oh no. I gotta pack my bags and go. I had a sweetheart, it was way back when. I lost in love, then came the end, oh no. I gotta pack my bags and I know where I'm coming from, and I know just where I'm going. And I hope one day I will find a way back into your heart, into your heart. Was in the Vietnam War back in '69. From the jungle and I'm doing time, oh no.
Inkster is a small auto workers town, just a few miles outside Detroit. You can walk across Inkster in about 30 minutes if you don't hurry. The typical sign that's posted at the borders of all American cities is standing guard, boasting of the city's success and how nice it is to live there, the business opportunities, the potential for industrial growth, its native sons and daughters. For instance, Earl Jones. He won the bronze medal at the 1984 Summer Olympics, running in the 800-meter finals. His friend and trainer was Dennis Shillingford. Both of them are from Inkster. And if you know anything about soul music and the Motown sound, then the Temptations, the Miracles, the Supremes, and Inkster's own Marvelettes singing Please Mr. Postman should be no mystery to you. You can get around in Inkster on foot, by car, or just pedaling a bicycle. But make no mistake, the car is king. And you're really not going anywhere unless you're driving. To the job, to the store, to the doctor, to jail. You literally drive yourself to death. Cars are very important to everyday life in the U.S., and the streets on which they travel can lead to many places. And a journey down any one of those streets can change your life. I know such a street. I call it the Street of Dreams. Its real name, Harrison. I'd like to tell you a small part of its story. Some impressions are hard to shake, even over a long passage of time. Mr. Nixon is a man who drove a cab in and around Inkster for 40 years. He's driven many a customer up on Harrison, most of them white men looking to have sex with black women. Now he's permanently stuck in Inkster, living out his last days in the senior citizens complex.
Harrison.
Harrison?
Yes. Harrison
Oh, I
Street.
know all about that area.
Tell me about it. Tell me about
I know about it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You know all about it?
Tell me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That was a bad area, and it's still bad, as far as I know.
Why was it bad?
Well, they had the Russell Hotel over there. Was nothing but a trap, prostitution. And the Inkster Hotel on Carlisle and Walnut was nothing but a prostitution house.
A street is more than just concrete or blacktop leading to here or there. It's the people who live, walk, talk, laugh, cry, and even die on it. A lot of people really don't know how much conversation the street has and what stories lie hidden beneath its weather-beaten surface.
This is quite a street, you know? Sometimes I just look down here and just see all the people moving around, and believe it or not, everything is gone. My dream is to see it back in motion again, because this is a city, you know? And this was a downtown street, you know? Red light area, we would call it, you know? They had bars and restaurants and cab stands, car washes, motels, hotels. pimps, whores, drunks, preachers, corned beef, barbecue places. It was a fun place to be.
They had a little bar up there called Hicks Little Chocolate Bar. And they had a gentleman in there who used to sing, and we used to sneak in the back window and watch him. He used to sing songs like Nuts, Red Hot Nuts. You get them from the Peanut Man. And as the customers would come in, he said, here's a man all dressed in brown to tell me he got the biggest nuts in town. Nuts, Red Hot Nuts. You get them from the Peanut Man. Yeah, and here's a man all dressed in green to tell me his nuts as small as butter beans. Nuts, Red Hot Nuts. And we used to sneak up there and sneak in the window and watch, shows like that. That was when we was 15, 16 years old. We couldn't get in the bar, you see. So we would sneak around and watch these different things, And we'd watch guys, the elderly fellas like Roy, sneak around chasing girls in the dark, And we'd watch guys like that, and we would see things that we didn't think that would happen, like you see Miss So-and-so up there, and she'd leave out with Mr. So-and-so.
Mudbone. Listen to Mudbone play. Listen to Mudbone. Yes, Lord. Mudbone Mike. Smell them chitlins cooking. Them greens.
They party people, the Shriners. They used to shoot on the weekends. They put those little fez hats on with the tassels. Somebody's daddy, usually yours and mine. And it would be party time. It would be party time. Music be playing nice and loud. The record shop was over there. They had the speaker, outside so that it blared out onto the street.
Boss man kicked me out the front door. I ain't got no job.
More grandkids.
Boss man kicked me out the front door. They cut my welfare check. A man, I'm black and I'm poor. Play that guitar, Mudbone.
Hello. May I help you?
Coochie man.
Oh, in 69, 70, 80, those years, boy, we were selling a lot of tapes. I mean, we were making a little money then, but now we're not making any money. Things have really changed. The blues always sell. Like Clarence Carter came out with the new blues the other day, and Tanya went to the shop and she didn't get but one. And as soon as she got here, a man walked in and said, Clarence Carter has a new blues out. Do you have it? I said, yes, I do. Here it is, right? And I went right there and got it right away and gave it to him. You know what? I listen to everything. It depends on what mood I'm in. Now, if I like to dance or like to watch the kids when they dance, I listen to the rap. I don't listen to the words, but I listen to the beat. And I might get up on a Sunday morning and I feel like I want to hear some church song. I'll turn the TV on and listen to the church song. Then sometimes at night, if I want to kind of sleep and I'm not sleeping too well, I'll turn on that real sweet music. I call it house music, and listen to it. So, I mean, I listen to all of it. Now, not only that, I listen to the party tapes once in a while. If we're on a party or something, they got some party tapes, I'll listen to those party tapes and give a little smile. I mean, I just like music, period. And the only thing about it, I never could sing. And all my life, I want to sing, and I never could sing.
Oh, this used to be the spot. It's the major strip. Used to be the Elks, gas station, the cleaners, the pharmacy, the liquor store, the pool room, the hotel, the hooch house. This is where all the fellas hang out at. The boys and the girls meeting and greeting. This was your social scene, Inkster. This is it, Harrison. I used to love this place. The hooch house, the Get your little 50-cent shot of liquor, dollar bottles of beer, a bag of weed. Then they had a couple of girls that used to sell some ass upstairs, you know, to the older guys around here. You know, it was anything you want type of place. This was it. And believe it or not, it looked the same way. It never was a new building. Exactly the same way. We used to crowd in there like roaches. Just party. I mean, party. Had a good time.
This is what most little have around here.
Black Warsaw Ghetto.
This is not Johannesburg, South Africa.
Boys and girls, meet me.
Mine. These people are not bad, just white.
You know, I think there's some plans for this land around here. You know, it's got to be a reason why they just let it rot the way it is. You know, there's some kind of plans, and black folks ain't a part of it. I don't think they're going to be a part of it at all. So, Inkster's just gone. Just gone.
When broken dreams and broken promises are scattered everywhere, and broken hearts still continue to bleed. I know you're afraid. There is so much Jesus can do. He's waiting for only you.
I feel like Reverend Jesse Jackson. Amen. You know, he was saying how to keep hope alive. And this is what this is all about. This is why we're in Inkster. This is why we're in Detroit. I'm a resident here of Inkster, but listen, I'm out to keep hope alive. I want to let Inkster know, regardless of all the problems that's happening in our city, regardless of all the setbacks and the things that's happening, we're here to let them know, to let everyone know you can make it. I don't care what kind of problem you may face. I'm here to let you know, neighbor, don't give up. Don't back when God is backing you up. You don't have to back up on the devil. Listen, God is backing us up. And I'm here to let everyone know that's listening today. My God, everyone is listening.
I got some $1.95. I'll take the 20. Yeah. We'll play on that. I also want you to promote my position. Go ahead. You got it. All right.
All right, we smoke on the tree.
Yeah, what's the name of the thing over there?
All right.
Hey,
Most everyone on this planet dreams to be fulfilled and happy, enjoying the high of life. But some of us are forced to see it from the bottom of a wine bottle or the end of a crack pipe, because reality is cruel, deadly, and offers no relief with no end in sight.
You lost a dime. Boy, you motherfuckers ain't got no respect for money. That's a dime, man.
Not bad.
You know, I sell this shit. I bet y'all see a dime and collect it. And what have you? Now, give me a hit, man. I told you, look, I gave up about everything. I don't smoke this motherfucking shit, man. Come on, man. Get my hooter back, man. Come on, man. Take a minute, man. No, come on, man. Is it good? It's all right. Oh, man. I told y'all.
I'm one of the original Marvelettes. Actually, there are 5 of us. And we were born and raised right here in this old country town called Inkster. And the street that we're stationed on right now is called Häusern. Actually, it was Skid Row, believe it or not. I was born on Skid Row. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not too proud to beg, and I love you and miss you much. Yes, one of the original Marvelettes. Gold record, please, Mr. Postman.
There's much to be learned from those who have come before us, and there's a certain undeniable wisdom that only experience can bring.
I moved to Inkster September 30th, 1930, and I started school here, and I graduated from the 8th grade. This was the front door of the school. We used to walk out the front door here, or either come out the side, or anytime you come down Harrison Avenue, you see the sign across the street saying, "Read, nigga, and run," or "Nigga, you're not wanted," and they would we would tear the signs down. Later on, they would put them back up early the next morning. And this continued for about 10 years straight before finally they didn't put the signs up anymore.
Mr. Massey, when did you first come on Harrison?
The last 1941, the first, right after the ride. The first 42, I was actually on that.
Who was right here in the parking lot where you're standing right now, where you're sitting? Who was right here?
A field, and next to it, where the food room was, used to have a restaurant there, Eva's Kirkendall restaurant. Home cooked, southern cooked, delicious.
You spent a lot of time in there?
Yes, I was just about every day I was in there for something. It was on a restaurant in this block at the time. And most of the people here were Southerners, before said, and they loved Southern cooking, home cooking. And then money wasn't no problem, but everybody was working that would work. You could get a job in 3 plants in one day. You could start at Young Motors, go to Ford, and end up in Chrysler's in one day. That's how bad they needed workers.
We could even sleep outdoors in Inkster up until 1943, and that's when the projects were built off of Carlisle on Irene Street. And when they built that there, then the different people that came into Inkster, they weren't reliable enough or something.
It was nice, but people were arriving from the south every day, coming up to get jobs. And except for the old timers, you didn't know the younger ones because they were coming every day by bus load and train load from the hinterland. That's south of the border.
We had drugstores up in Inkster. We had 2, one on the south side, one on the north side. And if you go in the store, they would refuse to serve us. And then we had to go to Dearborn or go to Wayne to get service there.
It was just like it used to be down south. They didn't like blacks on the other side of Michigan Avenue. They had a restaurant. You know where that trailer camp is? Right in front of Old Inkster High. Used to be a streetcar there named Mounties. Then they changed it to Brownies. And the kids that's going to Inkster High couldn't even go across and get a sandwich. They took it out the back. So we got together and knocked the streetcar over. He moved to Wayne. Now, this is going in Wayne. You see a big sign at the restaurant that would say Brownies. So we put him out of business because we couldn't eat there and could buy the food there. We didn't need it in Inkster. So that was the beginning of the, we were stressing our civil rights. After all, we was citizens like everybody.
Harrison ain't seen this much action in 15 years, haven't it?
It's a ghost town now, that's for sure.
This was the housing projects that were built in 1943 during the war area, right? It was temporary housing for people that didn't have any housing. You know, it was a lack of housing in this area. So it was supposed to only last for about 4 or 5 years. But I guess, I don't know what happened, but initially it was started by the federal government. It was a federal housing project. But then after a period of time, the city took over. And it's ridiculous. You know, the houses are run down, they're not fit, they're not adequate for people to live in, but they're still standing. The whole family, nine kids, 7 boys and 2 girls right here, right? My mother and father passed my mother passed 4 years ago, my father passed 3 years ago. And me and my brother stayed in this house for maybe 2 years after that, right? And after a while, I don't know, the city came through, they just took it, they boarded it up because the taxes weren't able to be paid on the houses here, right? Yep. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You have anything to add about that, man?
No, that's
yeah.
I guess you just about summed it up.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So essentially right now, you would say, where you living at?
I'm homeless now, right? I don't have anywhere to stay, right?
There's an epidemic of the homeless throughout the world. And in the U.S., the problem is out of control. And the money-slick politicians really have no answers. It deals a crushing blow to the lives of those who must live in and on the streets, enduring and suffering in the cities and towns of America, with no money, no job, no nothing.
Especially hard for a woman out here, you know? Because especially if you're like me and you're homeless, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Like, hey, I do what I got to do. Say, I'm not going to be out here and, without nowhere to lay my head. When I usually don't have nowhere to lay my head, I have to make it somewhere to lay my head. So it's extra hard for me because I don't have a family, Like, for instance, I had a cousin who got killed in this area, like behind me here, They found her over there dead, strangled, raped.
I'm glad. Oh, right, huh? Okay.
Maybe a year from now, I might be still doing the same thing I'm doing, out here turning tricks and doing whatever I can to keep some food in my mouth, roof over my head. It's really bad out here. So, me, myself, I just take my chances, We don't make no difference to the, whoever get in the office. We'll still be homeless, hungry, jobless, Ain't nothing but a big payoff to me, really. That's all it is. It's a big payoff.
My brother Bill and I moved with our parents from Detroit to Inkster when we were in our early teens. We had left all of our friends and family in the Motor City behind, and we were faced with the task of making new friends and maintaining old ones. My cousins in Detroit knew some teenage girls who lived in Inkster, and it was only a matter of time before we were introduced to these young ladies. We began visiting Wanda and Felicia at their home. Coming and going always involved taking different routes in and out of the city of Inkster, and just generally driving around, checking everything out. It was on one of those occasions that I saw Harrison for the first time. The people hanging on the corner in front of the pool room, Jean's Lounge, Loud talk, loud music, barbecue smoke everywhere. A collage of sight, smell, and sound. Something about the area excited the senses. It was a mean-ass street. It was mysterious and forbidding. It frightened me, but at the same time, my fear surrendered to my interest. I felt like a shark in bloody water. I knew I would not rest until I could walk this street day and night and be accepted as one of its own.
Yeah.
Where are you from and how did you get to Inkster?
I'm from Hungary. I'm Hungarian and I'm living in Switzerland before. Right now I'm living in Inkster because my man are living in Inkster. And I go everywhere where he go. And he come everywhere where I go. Hi, how are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Me too.
How did you know him? First know him?
How did we get together?
How'd you get together?
I was in the airport with 1,000 suitcases, and he was the taxi driver. He was my destiny. He take me in Canada, and he forget her body in my hotel for weeks.
What are you doing for the rest of your life?
I don't know exactly, but just something is true. I leave. I don't know when. I just watch the planes when flying there. I just say, when?
When I walk the streets at night, I feel like something just ain't right. It's the
If you're ever in Inkster, please visit Mrs. Donut. As a young schoolgirl, she had an interesting relationship with the Street of Dreams.
When somebody comes in here with an attitude, if it's morning or night, you know, I say, good evening, how are you? And why are you looking so sad? And some young garbage guys that work on the garbage truck come in here with bags, bad breath, and they look ugly. I said, fellas, don't come in here tomorrow looking like that. I don't want to see you that early in the morning. Do you know those guys got their hair together? They got rid of the plastic bags. They started using mouthwash. And it was like I was giving them psychology in a donut shop. Walk down Harrison because we weren't supposed to walk down Harrison. There were different things that went on Harrison. In those days, your parents were strict. They called the place beer garden, you know, one beer garden and pool room and stuff like that were strictly adults. So whenever children weren't supposed to do something, they did it. I mean, they were just, this is something that they're doing today. They just walked down and checked out these places and they had something to sniggle about when they got to school. And tell somebody that they went by so-and-so's and peeped in the window. Tutti and Frutti used to be some of the excitement that was there. They were two gay people that I made clothes for when I was 15 years old. I was a seamstress at the time, and they wore some really bad clothes. It was just stuff that so much stuff that happened back in, you know, in those days, and now you walk down there, you wish just something funny or something pleasant would be there.
You know, like LaRose was saying in Tobacco Road. I'm going to rebuild that dead-end street and I'm never going back there anymore. You know, we either got to turn white or die.
I learned a lot of negative things. I didn't learn anything positive. You know, hang around the pool room and the pool room, there was a lot of drugs and a lot of negative things, so mostly negative things.
I raised two sons, I sent them both to college. One to Alabama State, one to Cornell. And what I'm saying about it is that, how can you get out of it? You know, the best you can do is see little guys and girls over there. You know? Like Jesus say, spare the children. You suffer the children. Muhammad say, suffer the children. And that's it. Do the best you can, man. I can't do much. I got a $3,000 house with no insulation. I got a heater. And that's enough. But I don't know what to say. I really don't know, you know, what you asked me about. How do I feel about America, or how do I feel about drug life? Drug life in my life, because I started using this shit when it was 50 cents. You know, I could have bought a Coca-Cola for the price I could have bought a blow. You know? See what I'm saying? Coca-Colas and dope costed the same when I came up. You know? But this is the way it is in my neighborhood. Then this is not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You know? And so I don't know what else to say about it, man. See, I give you two facts. I'm a junkie. I use.
Magic love, magic hate. Find yourself before it's too late. It's the magic.
So what's up? Just out here hanging, baby. Just out here hanging, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get $1, you know? It's rough out here, you dig? welfare's cut out and shit, you understand? Brothers out here hustling, scuffling, you dig? Ain't got nowhere to stay, sleep, you dig? They sleep in bed in the buildings and shit, you understand? And the man on the ass, every time somebody come up on the corner, you gotta be selling dope or something, you dig? You can't, I'm 42 years old, you dig? I come up here, the man tell me I got to go home. I was in Vietnam, I want to go home, they wouldn't send me. And so, what can I tell you? You know?
I come up on Häusern. This is where I survive at. This is where I grew up at. I come up here every day. This is where I beg. This is where I come up here to get my dollars at, right up on Häusern. Without Häusern, I'll probably be laying out here on the ground. This is where I grew up from, right here. This is the street that fell down, and I'm hoping like hell that all of us get together and stand as united as a crowd, man. Because this is hard. It's real hard living. And if you can't get it from up here, you can't get it from nowhere.
I would still walk the street because I've always been a street person. Love to, just be in the street or go. It's always been like that. Even before I started smoking crack, I've always been on some kind of drug, one or another. I've always been a druggie all my life. Just about. I always have been getting high for something.
You think Harrison Avenue contributed to your drug problem?
No, not at all. 'Cause I started smoking weed when I was 8 years old. I took my first hallucinogen at 12, like acid and LSD and mescaline. My drug problem started way before I started going to Harrison. Yeah, buddy.
How do you feel doing this? Having to, sell yourself to either eat or pay your rent or buy your drugs?
Well, I'd rather do that than be ripping off and stealing and ganking somebody, because this way, I'm satisfying my dates, my clients is satisfied. They're happy, I'm happy, and I don't have to worry about anybody looking for me and risking my life, you know what I'm saying? Somebody coming to get me about being, getting beat up and whatnot. And to me, I have a clear conscience.
Why do you think these white men come to a poor black woman in the middle of the black ghetto for satisfaction?
Well, for one thing, a lot of the girls that's out there, they smoke crack, and they come because they can get it, cheap, and a lot of the white guys that come over to get the black girls, they like black women.
Do they tell you that?
Yeah.
Do they tell you why?
They have different reasons. Most of them are the color, skin tone, and a black woman is made up different than a white woman, as far as the bone structure, and as far as the hip, bone structure and the hips. A white woman's bones, her hips are. I'm gonna stand up and show you what I'm saying. Okay, on the black woman, her hip bones is like down here, bone structure. Where to a white woman, her bone structure, hip bone is up higher. And like they say when it was made us tune, baby got back. They like the roundness of the ass and the bigness of the ass, and sometimes they like by getting ahead. Some they like the bigger lips. Figure they get their dicks sucked. Black women, most black women have bigger lips than white women.
You got any dreams?
Do I have any dreams? No, not really. I used to, not anymore. Take it day by day and hour by hour.
You ever been raped?
Oh yes, many times. At least 7 or 8, maybe more.
What about your kids? How many do you have?
3.
How do you take care of them?
My mother has legal custody.
Do you think you'll ever take care of them again?
Sure.
How do you think you're going to get out of this vicious circle?
To tell the truth, I really don't know.
Living my life caught up in a fast lane, just drifting on a sea of memories. I'm stuck in a ball of confusion. My path always one step ahead of me. Loving but not really caring. Blinded by the facts that I see. I'm hurting everyone that's around me. I'm scared and I wanna set my feelings free. I feel like tears lost in the rain. We're there but we're hard to see. I feel like tears lost in the rain. Tell me who gives a damn about you and me.
Let's talk about times when you know it's getting hard, when the fools are ball from the corridor, scarred, never chosen, frozen, just dozing on an open door closing, and I'm sticking hard, rolling like a Mack truck, duck the bus, stuck the luck, shoot the roof off for things, cause I really don't, about greed, indeed with speed, I take heed to the
people selling drugs and people using drugs. You know, out here in this town, probably 95% of them is using drugs. And the reason they're using drugs is, the way I look at it, a shortage on jobs. You know, a lot of people that went to school and got degrees, they tell them they overqualified, you know. But, I mean, people using drugs not because really they want to use drugs, I mean, for escape society, escape waking up in the morning, have to deal with their kids. They have to go out to steal, they rob, they break in, and society tell you wrong. They send you to court, telling you wrong, you done did this and that, but yet still, it's cause of them that you in court. I mean, my mother told me at a time where the police out here used to lock a motherfucker up and go fuck his wife. Why? He in jail. I'm saying, it got to the place where I'd rather call a crackhead and ask for help than the police. They robbing motherfuckers. I'm saying, what I think about the law, with the law that make me think, well, my mother brought me up righteous. She brought me up with respect, which I still have respect for people. But I don't have no motherfucking respect for the government and the motherfuckers in government. They should be assassinated. Their fingernails should be pulled off. Their toenails, their tongue should be cut out. Because is a bunch of lying, dirty motherfuckers. It's no justice in the United States. It's no justice with the police system. It's no justice with the military system. It's no justice with the government system. There's no justice in the White House. There's no justice nowhere. But one day I'm gonna be able to see the White House black, the black house. We're gonna paint it.
It's said that there's a church on every street corner in Inkster's black ghetto, and each preaches its own brand of redemption and salvation.
Yeah, I got some dreams. Got a lot of dreams. I got dreams to be in heaven one day. Sitting on with the Heavenly Father. Used to have all kind of dreams down there. My dreams started up here on this street. I used to dream that I was gonna be a pimp, a great gangster. But all of them turned out to be foolish dreams. Dreams that were wasted. Dreams that I seen go down the drain. So I don't dream them dreams no more. I dream spiritual dreams now. Dreams that I could see in my visions. Dreams that I realize that are really true when I think about them. Those are the true dreams. The dreams to be in heavenly places. Those are my dreams today. To be able to help somebody. To let some brother or sister know that drugs is not the answer. That crime would never pay. That innocent blood shed caused many mothers heartaches and aches and pains and hardship. I see a lot of wasted land. I see a lot of wasted dreams. I seen a lot of wasted days and hours on this street. A lot of blood shed, a lot of tears, you know. Seen a lot of things up here. I seen people grow rich. I seen people grow pro. I seen people down these streets. I seen a lot of things up here. But now all I see is wasted land, empty buildings, abandoned buildings. All new faces. Everybody else is gone. All the buildings are closed up. Everybody we know, just about gone. Many have lost their lives, many of them incarcerated. Wasted dreams. Yep, wasted dreams.
Jennifer's hair salon is brand new. It's just down the street from the liquor store and seconds away from the misery of daily drug life.
First impressions of Harrison Street is scary. You see everybody hanging out. Now that I done grew up, so you can't scare me no more. But there's nothing wrong with Harrison Street. Like I'd be here for the rest of my life. I want to keep it have a problem sometime, maybe my customers, but now they didn't overrule that. They just come on up. Yeah, Lenny, why is that? People try to avoid Harrison. I guess they hear all about all the bad things up on Harrison. Harrison just like any other street around here. So wherever you go.
Your tales of intrigue and mystery. I can't forget the ones who have lived here before. I know I'll always return to your sacred shores.
Working now, you know, things was a little rougher for me. You know, out there on drugs, drinking wine every day, stealing. Is that what it is? You know, I was doing all kind of stuff down there, you know. And Brother Matthew, you know, put a little bright to my eyesight to where I didn't all the way go 100%. You know, like I explained to him that I really wanted, you know. But I'm trying. Hey, man, we need help, man. Brother need help out here. You know, I don't care if it's black, white, or what. I seen a family today on the job was homeless. People sent them from California to Detroit. The babies, they got 3 kids, man. You know, they was filthy, but they were trying to do their best.
Essential, using my potential.
What about the drug lord?
It's confidential, never went to battle, then back up and ran. HQ was in full effect, I'm taking my stand. Hustle on the road, my album's going gold. Inkster, Michigan, boys are playing out cold. Look at the environment, how can this be? Thought of peace sign up, I'm glad Mandela is free. I'm gonna tell you about the greatest, educate you about the latest. Gonna break it down and explain how you played us. Don't want me to explain how the ink time came. Brother spitting that game, rolling crap for the fame.
Check it out, Garden Boys on one side, Saigonas on the other. Pin posses in the center and we shooting at each other.
I can't stop the crimes in the streets today. When you don't receive pay, gonna live the other way. It's crazy, sometimes the stuff dazes me. People try to put me down, but it don't faze me. A bullet's out there for me, maybe you, so I'm going sorta slow, but I'm doing what I wanna do. Ink Town Pod.
Damn, they ruthless.
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 Mrs. Pace is less than 1 generation from slavery. She was born in 1899. She moved to Inkster in 1935.
My baby's 50. Right. 51. And my oldest daughter will be 72 in February.
So how many children? You had 9 children?
I had 9. I raised 8 to get grown. I lost 1, a baby.
You lost 1 as a baby. And how many are still living now?
I got 4 daughters. I got no boys. I had 4 boys and 5 girls. All my boys are gone.
Right. What do you think about drugs in Inkster now?
It's just pathetic. And not only here, they're everywhere. You hear about it everywhere. It just makes me sick to hear about it. People just killing people, robbing, stealing, just doing anything they can do on that account. Worst stuff ever I heard about my life. I didn't think I'd ever get so old to know and see and learn so much now. It's like things go on now. Anything is going on that you don't like is not nice. I don't see it, know it, hear about it, but I don't like it. Nothing I can do about it. The whole country's in an uproar now. And I think it's because everybody want to be the leader. Everybody can't be the leader. Somebody got to follow.
Politicians are always telling us what we need. They meet here twice a month to discuss Inkster's future.
Why don't we invest money in trying to find out what the laws is, and when you have construction work and stuff of this nature, be sure that people of this community get jobs and opportunity. Jails we don't need. Your president candidate, your vice president's running for president on the Democratic side. Most all of your people that's running for public office today is condemning jails. What we need in this community is opportunities for people to get jobs. So if we want to spend money for investigating things, let's spend money trying to figure out a way to get decent jobs in this community for these people. Then you will cut back on crime.
This over $300,000 that we have expended to transport our prisoners up north hurt us considerably. I am not proposing a jail facility. I might also, contrary to what one person in this audience today said to me once before, that the only reason Ed Bivens wants a jail is to jail more blacks. That is an outright lie. I want a detention center, and there's a lot of difference between a detention center and a jail, in my opinion. But on the matter of Ed Bivens wanting to jail more blacks, anyone, black or white, if they violate the law, the jail is a spot for them. And we don't have the accommodations at this point to accommodate our own criminals here.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about drugs. I want to talk about prison. I want to talk about life, period. Beginning with life, I want to talk about the society that, the way we live in right now. I've been grown up in a fairly decent home. You know, it's all right. I've been to prison. Prison didn't treat me well. I'm living halfway comfortable, but still, I'm off into this thing called drugs. I'm off into this society called drugs, which is, you know, a hell of a society, you know. But sometimes we get ourselves in this kind of thing. Sometimes society get us off into this thing. You know, I'm not blaming society for, you know, my position, but I'm blaming myself and society.
Michael Carter.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Are you able to read, Mr. Carter?
Yes.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated from high school.
Well, I started working on Harrison when I was 14 at a place called Oasis Grill. That restaurant has since been demolished. We had quite an array of people coming through the restaurant at that time, and I came to know and to befriend some of the people back then. And my impression at that time was that notwithstanding some of the things that they were doing, that they were friendly people, and they protected people who were familiar to them, especially the young girls who worked at the restaurant. If a customer became belligerent or what have you, they would intercede. And they respected us and treated us well. Officer Anderson, does Mr. Carter look familiar to you?
No, ma'am.
How long have you lived in Inkster, Mr. Carter?
Well, about...
Richard Pryor, a black comedian, once joked, "Yeah, when black people go to court to get justice, that's all you see, just us."
I see people here from time to time that I used to know, from the other side of the bench. Fortunately, most of those are not the ones who are perpetuating the more serious crimes. And I have found them to be embarrassed to come before me because they know that I know who they are and might have some idea about what they were doing at some point. As a youngster, I dreamt of doing what I'm doing now. I wanted to go to law school to be a criminal defense lawyer because from the vantage point of working on Harrison, seeing some of the people who went away to prison, I had the perception that these people were victims of society. I no longer have that perception.
The judicial system leaves much to be desired in its treatment of minorities. Now, when I first went to prison, about 30 years ago, actually I was taken advantage of. I was not represented by counsel. I was not advised of my right. I was not advised of the fact that I had a right to a counsel. Just picked up and taken to prison. So, I mean, it's not hard for a black person to wind up in prison. What I find hard is that, what I find difficult is the fact that it's so easy. It's hard for them not to go. People from the lower socioeconomic backgrounds, they don't have any respect for these people. They just don't do anything. The Rodney King incident will show you that. But one example, a serve for 1,000. We've had Rodney King incidents happen on a daily basis. And not all of them have been done by white police officers against black people either. In our communities, they have two different perspectives. When they're in a middle class white community, they're there to protect the citizens. When they come into a black community, they coming to see what they're doing wrong. And you always find what you look for.
The Moss family contributed several generations to the history of Harrison Avenue. Junebug Moss was in the first wave.
The man was a drug user, okay? And a seller. But he took care of his family. Yes, he was. You know, yes, he was. He was talk about how you feel. Okay, and like I say, you know, it's a thousand of people that can tell you just like I'm telling you how good the man was. You know, it's nothing wrong with being a drug user and still have pride. You know, and take care of family. Okay?
No, not one. No, not one. Oh, none else can heal. Oh, diseases. I'm here to tell you, no, not one.
I believe that he was the first known addict in the village of Inkster at that time. You know, but he was raised with strict rules. My father worked. He was a contractor at the age of 9. He and my brothers built half of Inkster, all the sidewalks in the village of Inkster, all of the sidewalks from Inkster Road all the way back across. My brothers done that. So they were not just dependent on the state. Never was they raised to do that.
Yes. My first contact with drugs was with my brother. I come home one day and he was constantly using my money. I had a little stash. Me and my wife were separated. So I came home and he had spent all of my money. I reached down on the table and picked up a dropper and put a needle on it and tied myself up like I seen the rest of them and shot it. That was my first encounter with drugs. I believe that was in 1951. My brother left me, he passed. So it's time for me to live, time for me to do what's right. And what's right is building, or teaching some of these young kids how to build, you know. And as you know, we here in America have a generation of lost kids because they don't want to know where to go or what to do because of the system. You see, the system is working in such a way that these kids are just lost and they don't really care. It's really a form of genocide against the black people here in America. And the only way it can be stopped is to teach these kids something, you know, give them something to do, let them know that they are somebody. All they have to do is want to. You know, on the job program, they have 1,001 houses here. We could take a crew of young boys, bring them in, teach them how to bring these houses up to code, and the city could sell them or whatever, you know, or give them to some of the families that need homes, you see? And, but I don't know. I don't know, you know, I've tried, I've talked, you know, so it doesn't, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. 34 out of there.
You got any dreams, Steve? What are they? Tell me about it.
That I'll be an engineer and that I'll make a lot of money and get me a nice house and have a nice car. And my family come to visit me.
What about you, Kaylin? You got any dreams? Tell me about it.
I want to have a car, a house, and a car alarm, and
Is that
a job? And have a police job, and a job, a plain old job, and have a car, and that's all.
Yeah.
Do 5.
The ghetto. The ghetto, the streets all bumpy, lights burned out. Dope freeze down with a pipe in their mouth. Old school buddies ain't doing it right, but everything I say and everything I do. The truth that cool, just I try to touch my cool. Every day I wonder just how I die. The only thing I know is how to survive. It's only one way in the real world, just to take care of you and be in yours. Just do it with the hard times day after day. Might deal some dope and make crime don't pay. Like the man tried to break in my house again. Like got off the dope to a time in the pen. You know my brothers do just like that. I get a lot of stuff giving it back to the ghetto. People are dying. The ghetto. People are, them children are crying. The ghetto.
I think, I don't know, I guess. Why you standing over here?
Is it a raindrop or a teardrop that falls upon your cheek? Is it a tissue or a cloud in the sky that you see? Is it the weeping of the willows or the weeping that you find? Is it sparkle in your eye or just a flash of lightning? Is someone to make you upset or is it storm coming? All the clouds rolling or is it you just running? Hold on, wait a minute, turn around, look me in the eye. A raindrop or a teardrop but no clouds in the sky. Look at me, I look at you, you ask what I'm saying. It ain't raining. Drip, drop, drippity, drop, drop, drip. Raindrop or teardrop, which one is it? Drop, drip, drop, drip, drip, drop. Rain or tears, both have to stop. Okay, 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 okay. Why so sad on such an uncloudy day? You must be crying, 'cause it ain't raining.
Harrison Avenue, Street of Dreams, exists wherever people are being oppressed. Sao Paulo, Brazil, Trenchtown, Jamaica, Johannesburg, South Africa, New York City, New York. It's the stage they built for self-expression of all kinds. It wasn't all good or all bad. It led some people to their downfall, and others it showed the way. It's like everything else in life. There's the bitter and the sweet. Someone once said that oppression breeds resistance, and if that's true, then Harrison's tortured history is some proof of that statement. The black people who walked and drove its streets were continually faced with the hard realities of racism and a legacy of 400 years of slavery. Forced back of the track, being the last hired and first fired, dying in endless wars abroad and being lynched at home, and even to this very day. I asked Ted Logan, a good friend who used to own the party store on Harrison, what he thought when he now observed the street. His first response was, outdoor jail and white supremacy. For me, that's the motive force behind all that Harrison was, is, or ever will be.
Y'all making me sit real. Come on, for real. Come on, homies, peace. See y'all, man. Good night. That's all. But for real, y'all gotta go.
Why?
Yeah.
Mosquitoes gonna bite you? Oh, mosquitoes gonna
Come on.
Mosquitoes gonna bite you.
Don't do that.
What? Don't do what? Huh?
Don't swing me around. Come on, stop.
But you wanna dance and all that shit? Come on.
Back to where we speaking though on that bush hookup, man. They ain't doing nothing but lying, man. For real. Bush, Bill Clinton, whoever, they ain't doing nothing but lying. They sit on the camera and tell you, oh, we not gonna raise taxes or whatever. Then they get in office.
Yes.
What they do, raise taxes. Sitting up there lying, talking about they ain't gonna raise taxes, but when they get in office, sky high taxes like a motherfucker. There it is. You know? And then that make the cycle right there. There it is. You go say, and you know, remember back in the day, we used to go try to get a job, sign application. They can't get nothing. We gonna call you in 2 weeks. What we can do, we get a call? Don't call us, we'll call you back. Yeah, we ain't get no call.
Looking good, yeah. Looking real good, yeah. I gotta put it fast on me. See what drugs do to your body. Fuck them all the way up. Don't look like that's gonna pay. Back them up. I want you to come around this way and get the show.
poison come out your hands. Just fucks you all up. All this shit here, from drugs, drug use, swellings, drug use. But I love it. All right, darling.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want.
You got any dreams?
Right now, yeah, being a millionaire. I can shoot all the dope I can get my hands on. Just shoot dope all day long. But that'll never happen. Because right now, in about 3-4 days, I'll be running from the law. But that's another story. Anything else?
Seeing how it was, you know, how selling dope was, you know, it's all a game, you know. It's all about money. Ain't nothing funny when you're making money, for real.
That's right.
It's all about money, but then you gotta hurt other people, you know.
I mean,
you gotta hurt other people
hurt.
to make money. But see, so we had to get up out of that, you know. So we quit doing that. You know, going to get a legit job, you know.
But before we quit doing that, I mean, it's like you in the game for real, you know. And I mean, like anybody who's stepping your way, you got to get rid of them some kind of way. I mean, we never killed nobody or nothing like that, but we have hurt people, you know, in a fight. You know, nobody messed with us after about 3 fights or whatever. You know, that's how it goes.
Respect, that's all.
There it is.
That's all. Respect, that's what it's about. I had to get up out of it because, you know, I got kids, you know. I want them to know me. You know? I want my kids to know me when they get old, you know, like everybody else kids, they got their kids, they going places. I don't want to be locked up or dead, you know what I'm saying? That's what I want my kids to know who I am. That's why I'm straight, I got me a job, everything working out fine, you know?
There it is.
Word.
One out of 4 black men will end up in court and or go to jail. Over 700,000 black men are presently in the criminal justice system in America. Frank was just released from prison after serving 16.5 years.
I feel, you understand, the black man, you understand, being stepped on. Not only the black man, but the minority, you understand, they claim, you understand, be a lower class of people. Instead of judging people, you understand, for who they are, you understand, what they are, not what they seem to be, you understand, because of the hue of their skin. So everything was pre-plotted, you know. The situation, you understand, we was put in by force, coming here from Africa, you understand, from our descendants, growing up here, taking away, you understand, our birthright, cutting our cord from where we came from. Then want to make it hard for us. It's not right. But what happened to the 40 acres and the mule they're supposed to get to the, you understand, black man, his descendants? They squashed that out because they know, you understand, wouldn't be enough of it to go around. And now the people, you understand, had the mental change on their mind, instead, you understand, sticking together, you understand, to receive what belongs to them by do right. They caught up, you understand, hey, in the street of dreams, you know, want to be other than what they are and who they are and from where they come from. A tree is dead without its roots. It's not about a thing of, you understand, racism or nothing like that, you know, saying I'm better than the next person. Hey, but if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know, you understand, where you're at, you ain't gonna sure know where you're going. So you understand, the man has to stand up for himself, and we have to stand up together for the people, for everyone. That's what time it is.
Come on, world, hey, yeah. Gotta wake up and find a better way. Come on, world. Come on, world, hey, hey. Wake up and find a better way, yeah, yeah. Wake up and find a better way, yeah, 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 yeah. To find peace on earth, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. So much violence destruction everywhere. What we gonna do to find peace on earth? The mark of a human hand disturbing every land. What we gonna do to find peace on earth? Suffering and despair, do the rich ones really care? What we gonna do to find peace on earth? And nature's master plan has but little to do with man. Tell me what we gonna do to find peace on earth?